So I am back with another collection update. I've got a stack of random movie titles to go over with you guys today. We'll get started right after this. Welcome back to Potts Movie Dungeon. Alright everybody, welcome to Potts Movie Dungeon. This is your first time here. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. If you guys have been here before, I appreciate you guys stopping back by again. I really appreciate all your support. What this video is going to be is all the random pickups that I've picked up for the month of May that is not Scream Factory related. Anybody that's been watching my channel knows that I have been killing the Scream Factory pickups, trying to complete my collection. And this is everything that I randomly picked up throughout the month. And I just wanted to do a quick video real fast and go over these titles. I probably got, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 titles to go over with you guys today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And guys, one other thing, I got a couple days left. I've been nominated for Horror YouTube Channel of the Month. So if you guys could please go over to Born to Be Raz channel, and I will link his video down below. All you need to do is click on that link and just cast a vote for Potts Movie Dungeon down in the description. I'd really appreciate it. And you have until, I believe, midnight of May 31st to cast that vote. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to Born to Be Rad and check out his videos over there. He's doing a great job. Again, Garrett, thank you so much for the nomination. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started, guys. Now, I got a pretty strange mix of movies here, but we're going to go ahead and get started with this first one. Now, I am a big fan of this movie. I grew up watching this movie, and I know I got a lot of shit from some of my buddies for picking this up, but yeah, I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, and this is a movie that I mean, most people are probably not a fan of, and probably never even seen before unless you're close to my age. And I could not find a Blu-ray over here in the United States, so I had to get this one imported from Germany. You're probably not going to be able to read this title, but this is the Dolly Parton Sylvester Stallone classic of Rhinestone. And as you see it, I'm assuming that's German for Rhinestone. But guys, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend watching it at least once. Like I said, you may not be a fan of the movie, but like I said, I grew up on it. I think it's a great time. The movie came out in 1984, but the movie was directed by Bob Clark. Now, Bob Clark has got some great movies under his belt. He directed A Christmas Story, he directed Porky's, and he directed Black Christmas. Kind of a weird mix of movies for a director. And, of course, he also directed the movie here, Rhinestone. So you got a great director. You got Dolly Parton, who's always fun. You got Sylvester Stallone, one of my favorite actors. I mean, how could you go wrong, right? But I mean, Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton, you know, it's got some camp to it, but they're really, to me personally, at least watching this as a kid growing up, whatever, I had a great time watching the two of them, and it was really it was the first time I really seen Sylvester Stallone do a comedy, which I thought was kind of fun. The basic plot is Jake, an inspiring singer from Tennessee, comes to New York City and finds herself working in a club owned by a sleazy guy named Freddie. It seems Jake is under contract, and Freddie doesn't want to let her go, so Jake makes a bet that she can train anyone to sing. If she does, he lets her out of her contract, and the guy she has to train is a cabbie named Nick, played by Sylvester Stallone. They go back to her small hometown back in Tennessee, and Jake has to teach Sylvester Stallone how to be a country music singer. And it's pretty cringy in some parts, but you know, seeing Sylvester Stallone from the big city trying to make it in Tennessee in the small town, meeting all these local hometown country folks, Dolly Parton's family, it's just a good time. They also run into Dolly Parton's ex-boyfriend, who's just a local country boy, and seeing this local country guy and Sylvester Stallone drink together, and some of their back and forth, I don't know, it's just funny as hell to me. So guys, just go check it out one time. Like I said, see if you can find it on streaming if you don't want to try to purchase the movie. But yeah, it's a high recommend for me. It's one of my childhood favorites, and I am super glad to have this back in my collection again.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call him freaking Stein.
So next up, I grabbed this here from Mana Labs, and I'm a big fan of this movie. And I used to have the Blu-ray steelbook of this, and I can't remember if I sold it or if my oldest son ended up talking me out of it. But for whatever reason, I did not have this movie in my collection. But this is a movie that I'm a big fan of, and I really had to get it back in my collection. And when I see this release here, I just knew I had to have it because I'm such a fan of this movie. And it's a movie called Seven. And this is the Mana Lab with the lenticular slip. If you can see that there. Sorry for the glare. And I'll show you the back. You got another lenticular slip on the back there. And you know, this is a box set. And I will take this out. The first thing you're going to see here is you have the Notebook. If you guys have seen the movie, you're going to recognize that. And this is just a booklet with either shots from the movie, info on the movie, stuff like that. And really hardbound, you know, pretty nice. And you get a really nice steelbook. I'm a big fan of this steelbook. And I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this on the camera, but each of the Deadly Sins have a gash in the steelbooks, like indented. Really nice artwork. And there's the back. And I will show you guys the inside. Now you do get a set of cards on the inside to look at, which I have not even opened yet, so we will do that now. Kind of neat. So you get some of these small cards, like this, with 7 on the back. And there's one of Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, all his craziness. And on the back of these guys, you just got the 7 logo on the back. Another shot of Morgan Freeman. And a shot for the movie there. And going into that great final scene everybody talks about. So yeah, I'm really glad to own this. Like I said, when I seen this Man in the Lab, I mean, I've had my own Man in the Labs for a while, and there's a lot of movies that I really wanted to pick up from them. I mean, these releases are just fantastic, and I'm really happy after I got this in with the quality of the packaging. This release just looks fantastic. Now these are not cheap. I did get this one for a fairly good deal on eBay, and there is a full shot of the back of the steelbook. But yeah, super happy to have this, guys. So, and I do hope that we get a 4K, and I feel like now that I bought this release here, that a 4K is going to be imminent. But yeah, that is the Man in the Lab version of the double lenticular slip Man in the Lab version of 7. So very happy to have that, guys. All right. So next up, I have not even opened this yet. I just got this in the other day when it came out, and I was busy trying to do some other videos, and I never even got a chance to open this yet. I did see this in theaters, and you know, I am going to check it out again. I was a fan of the movie. I thought that it was a little slow. Definitely wasn't my favorite Batman movie, but I am a fan of it, and I'm glad to own it. And I'm a big fan of this steelbook. And this steelbook packaging is just fantastic. There's the front. You guys have all seen this. There's been 1,000 unboxings of this thing here. So this is just a random collection update. Take out that code there. And of course, there's the inside. I'm not going to take out all those discs, guys. You guys have seen this. So, I mean, I'm very late to the party showing this thing off. But, yeah, there's my Batman 4K Steelbook. Best Buy exclusive. It says over 2 hours of special features on the Blu-ray disc. So it'll be interesting to go through some of those special features. And as a fan of the movie, it could probably been a little bit shorter for me. But yeah, glad to have that one. Another steelbook here, guys, that this is a Best Buy exclusive. Another movie that I seen in theaters, really enjoyed, and it's a movie called Uncharted. Now, I did play this video game some. I'm mainly an Xbox guy, but I did used to have a PlayStation 4, and I played like the first 2 Uncharteds, I think it was. And plus, I'm a big fan of Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and I thought they did a good job with this movie here. I mean, you know, it was a fun movie, but you know, it's a movie based on a video game. But as far as that goes, I thought it was one of the better ones. But yeah, I was a fan of it, guys. It was a good time, and I feel like it's one that I will go back and revisit, you know, every now and again. Definitely not my favorite movie of 2022 so far, but you know, it's up there. Like I said, it was a fun watch, and I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen this already. But I'm glad to own that steelbook. I think it's a great looking steelbook. Now, this next one I'm super excited about. My buddy Dirk over at Subjective Perspective Collective. That's a mouthful. He's got a great channel over there. I'm going to link his video down below. But he went over to the Texas Comic Con they had recently. I don't remember the name of it, but he went to it earlier this month, and he met Nev Campbell over there, and he was able to get the new Scream 4K Steelbook signed. And me and him bartered a little bit. We made a trade, and I ended up getting this from him. So I was super excited to get this in the mail the other day. I'm a big fan of the Scream franchise. I'm a big fan of Nev Campbell, and so I was super excited to get this. I got a signed Scream Steelbook with Nev Campbell's signature on it. And you can see she just signed it Nev Campbell and then put her character named Sydney on there. So it would have been cool if I could have actually met her myself. But next best thing. Super glad to have this in the collection. Like I said, this cover here's got a couple little scuff marks on it, but the Steelbook's in great condition. But I'm going to change out the outside covering on this, and this will be displayed on my shelf back there somewhere. But yeah, big fan of the movie, guys. And Dirk, thank you so much for this. I'm very happy to get this in my collection. All right, so moving on to the next one here. This is a movie I've never seen, but I've been hearing a few different channels talk about it, and I was pretty excited to check it out. And I went looking around, and I didn't see, and I maybe overlooked it, but I did not see a 4K release of this over the United States. I want to say this is a German release, if I remember correctly, and that the movie is called The Sadness. And there's the Steelbook, really great artwork on the front, and there's the back. This movie came out in 2021, and I'm not familiar with this at all. Like I said, I've heard a few other channels talking about it, but it says a young couple trying to reunite amid a city ravaged by a plague that turns its victims into deranged, bloodthirsty sadists. Right up my alley. Don't recognize the director, Rob Jabez. Yeah, don't recognize anybody in the cast. It's a foreign release. And there's the inside shot and a full shot of the Steelbook on the back. Try to keep that glare off of there as much as I can. But yeah, very, very happy to check this out, guys. And that is The Sadness. Alright, now next up here, yeah, this is a crazy one. We got the Severin sale coming up in a couple weeks, and I am planning on grabbing some Severin titles. I'm working on my list now. This is one, I don't remember how I ended up grabbing this. I want to say maybe my buddy Brad over at Category 3 of Me might have recommended this, or I might have heard them talking about it. But I ended up grabbing it anyway. I'm going to have to be careful with the slipcover. But I'll show y'all the movie first, and I'll show y'all the slipcover. The movie is called Bloody Moon. So you don't have any reverse artwork or nothing like that, which I don't think Severin does that a whole lot. But very excited to check this one out. It says on the back, it says a sexy, gross out carnival ride from the king of Euro sleaze, from the bizarre mind of Jess Franco. But yeah, if you guys can look on the back, trying to make sure I can show this, but it's pretty gruesome. You see the girl with her head stuck in the pair of head trimmers there. And I'm going to show y'all the front and the back of this because of this slipcover, because it's I don't know, it's pretty comical. I'm going to have to cover the bottom of that up because I can't show that. But there's the front, and yeah, I'm just going to show it. There's the back. You have Mickey Mouse in bed with his chick here. That's all I know.
Let's get it on.
But very strange. With a lot of stuff with Severin, you're gonna get some strange stuff. There's the alternate title of the movie. I can't pronounce that, but you guys can see it there. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be interesting. The next one is the latest from Vestron Video in their collector series, and this is Spy number 26, and that is Nick Nolte and Extreme Prejudice. Absolutely great artwork. I was very excited when I seen they were releasing this, putting this in the Vestron line. I seen this back in the day in theaters. I've always been a big fan of it. And I'll tell you, this thing is absolutely loaded with stars. First, the movie came out in 1987, and it was directed by Walter Hill. Now, Walter Hill has done some great movies. He has directed The Warriors, 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, Red Heat, Crossroads with Ralph Macchio, another great movie I love. He's also been the writer of some pretty big movies. He was a writer on Aliens. He was also a writer on Alien 3. But this here is another one of his movies that I really enjoy. I'm a big fan of 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours. I mean, those are classics. But this one here is one definitely you don't need to sleep on. This is a really good time. Guys, let me just read this cast to you real fast. You got Nick Nolte. You got Powers Booth. You got Michael Ironside. You got Maria Conchita Alonso. You probably know her from The Running Man. You got Rip Torn, Clancy Brown, William Forsythe, Larry B. Scott, which was the guy from Revenge of the Nerds. You got Tiny Zeus Lester. May he rest in peace. But guys, when this thing started, it goes through and kind of introduces a lot of the cast, and I'm just sitting there going, Jesus, I forgot how many people's actually in this movie. But guys, don't sleep on this movie here. I watched it as soon as I got it in. Absolute blast. Super glad to have this in the Vestron line. There's the artwork on the front and the back. And I have already taken the digital code out of here. Got a shitty ass Eco case. But other than that, I can't complain. I can't complain, guys. It's I'm really enjoying these Vestrons. There's so many great titles in this line. I'm so glad I started collecting these. But yeah, do yourself a favor, pick this one up, guys. It's high recommend. Really enjoyed it. All right. Yeah, this next one here, this is going to be up there with the release of the year for me. But this is the newest Lionsgate Steelbook, and that is Hell or High Water. And like I said, this may be up there in contention for release of the year for me. I absolutely love this movie, and I was so glad to get this on 4K in this great Steelbook packaging. I mean, it's guys, if you have not seen this, do yourself a favor. Look at that artwork. I mean, come on. Do yourself a favor and watch this movie. I can't think of anything in the movie that I don't like. Jeff Bridges just absolutely kills it in this. Just the entire cast does. I mean, it's just a great movie. But it was directed by David Mackenzie, and it was written by Taylor Sheridan. But Taylor Sheridan, man, he's just so talented. He's one of my favorites. I know that everybody that I know that has seen this movie, it's one of their favorites as well. But yeah, this Steelbook, man, yeah, I'm just absolutely so happy to have this release. There's a complete shot of the back of the Steelbook. Yeah, guys, go out and buy this Steelbook if it's still available. If it's not available, just get the 4K slip. Whatever you got to do, guys, just don't put this movie in your collection. Yeah, it's a great release. Super excited to have that one. All right, so the next one here is an older title that I've actually never seen this movie. I don't believe it's the first 4K release by Paramount Presents, and this is James Stewart and John Wayne and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Really nice artwork, and you guys know how these things go. You get the poster there, the fold-out poster. Big fan of that. This movie came out in 1962, and directed by John Ford. And of course, you got the legends in here: James Stewart, John Wayne, Lee Marvin, Vera Miles. I mean, guys, how can you go wrong? John Carradine, which I don't know if that's maybe the daddy of some of the Carradine brothers. I'm not sure, but Lee Van Cleef is in this. I mean, guys, come on. If you're a fan of westerns, getting this movie here in 4K, yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. And I'm sure I've probably seen this movie with my dad a long time ago. If I have, it's been years and years. I don't remember that much about it, but yeah, there's some you don't get reversible with these Paramount Presents. Just some nice shots of the movie there. But I'm really happy to check out the transfer on this. I really hope the Paramount Presents continues with these 4Ks. Really great packaging, man. This is another line that I've got all the releases of, and I'm super glad to have it. So this next one I was very excited to grab. I was a huge Eddie Murphy fan back in the 80s. I still am. And this is one that I was really glad to see get a 4K release. And I'm looking now, but yeah, this thing has 0 special features, which kind of sucks. But that is Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop Part 2. And I grabbed the 4K slip of Part 1. So when this came in, I knew I wanted to grab it. Yeah, this thing has 0 special features from what I see here. Hopefully the transfer is good. I really haven't heard a whole lot about it as far as that goes. But there's the front and back of that. This is a big studio. You're not going to get much. Yeah, no reversibles, of course. But yeah, big fan of the movie. This is back when Eddie Murphy was in his prime. It was such a good time it was such a fun time to be a movie fan back then. Every year you got a good Eddie Murphy comedy, and this is one of his best ones. Big fan of it. Now this next one here is one that I have slept on for a while, and I was at Best Buy the other day picking up something else, and I just went over to kind of check out the movies. Genuinely, I get all my movies online. I usually don't go to Best Buy too much, and they've kind of dwindled the movie section so much. When I was in there, I ran across this one here. It's one that I've been on the fence of grabbing, and I think I've heard rumors, or maybe it's already been confirmed, that a Part 2 of this collection is coming out. That is the 4K box set of the Universal Classic Monsters Collection. Of course, you got Dracula, Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and the Wolfman. And I know that I am super late to the party on this one here. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this up or not. But yeah, I had to grab it. They were coming out with a Part 2, and I have heard nothing but good things about the transfer on these. And I'm really glad I picked it up. Of course, you take it out of the side loading package, and that's the front there. And there's the back. Hard box, and you get it's like a media book. I'll just go through it real fast. I'm sure you guys have probably seen 100 of these unboxed. You get the real nice artwork on the posters. There's the one Frankenstein. And Dracula is 1931. Frankenstein is 1931. You got the Invisible Man 1933, and you get the Wolfman 1941. I mean, you know, horror being my favorite genre, you have to appreciate these old movies like this. And I have really, over the last, we'll say 5 or 6 years, I've really gone back and watched a lot of these older titles, and I have to say I'm really a fan of them. And I've heard that the 4K transfer on these old black and whites are fantastic. So I'm going to dive into this box set here soon, and I'm really looking forward to revisiting all these movies. I want to say I've seen all of these except for, I don't think I've ever seen The Wolfman. I have memories of seeing the other 3 movies, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen The Wolfman. I'm familiar with it. I've seen and read a bunch of things about it, but I don't think I've ever seen it, or at least seen it from start to finish. So yeah, very excited to have that. I'm super glad I picked that up. But guys, that is the random pickups that I got for the month of May. It may not seem like a whole lot, but if you go back and watch some of my last couple videos, I've picked up probably close to 100 Scream Factory titles. I'm just about done with that line. I'm going to have another big Scream Factory update coming up here probably in the next week or so once I get some more stuff in. And that should be my last huge Scream Factory collection update, because when I do that next video, I'm hoping to have all the titles. That's my plan. But I also have some A24s I'm going to go over in another video, and I have a lot of imprints that I've got in that I'm going to do a video on that as well. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Those videos should be coming up here in the next week or so. But as always, guys, thank y'all so much for your support. Hope you guys have a great week. I will be back soon with more videos. You guys take care. See you soon.